One question that I've gotten quite a bit in the past is, how do I keep track of my inventory? So that's what I'm going to be addressing today. I'm going to show you both physically how I store my inventory here in my house, as well as digitally how I keep track and organized with the inventory that I have on my spreadsheet. In case you're new to me, my name is Jason. I'm a full-time reseller. I sell on multiple platforms. I've been doing this full-time for over 5 years, and I started this reselling business a couple of years before that on the side of my full-time job. But my goal now is to really teach you the ins and outs of my business, to give you those tips that have helped me so that they can help you too. So let's go ahead and go to my garage now, and I'll show you exactly how I store my inventory so that you can get an idea for yourself as well. Okay, so here is a look at my garage inventory. I've got 2 full racks down both sides. And as you can see, I've got every bin labeled with some kind of code. So D2. So basically how I do this is I've got 4 rows on each rack all the way down. And I've got A's on the bottom, B's below, above that, C's above this, and then D's, and so on and so forth. So you kind of get the idea. E, F, G, H. You kind of make it your code. Like, you don't obviously have to do this, but this is just what I did, and I've stuck with it since the beginning. So every bin has a unique code, D1. So whenever I am looking for items, I will go find the bin that it's in based on this code. And you may be asking, where do I find this code? How do I know that the item I'm looking for is in D6? Let me show you that right now. So looking at my eBay app now, I've got 4 items that sold on eBay in the last day. Let's go ahead and click in and see one of those items. And here's the first one. You can see the custom SKU under the title, and it says D3. So I'm gonna pull the item from D3 for this particular item. Okay, so as mentioned, the item I'm looking for that I sold is in D3. I know it's in this bin right here. And then from there, it's just digging through the handful of items that I have to find this particular item that I'm looking for, which is right here, these Banana Republic performance pants in D3. So now let's go back to my eBay app, and I'm gonna look at the 2 unsold items. Whenever I sell an item on a platform that's not eBay, it gets delisted through Vendoo into the unsold categories. So I've got 2 items that sold on other platforms. Let's go ahead and click into those now, and we'll take a look at those items that need to be pulled from inventory. You can see this first one here is in bin F4, so we're gonna go ahead and find that one now. All right, so we know that this next item that I'm looking for is actually in F4, this one right here. Let's open it up, and I believe usually items I list on the right, or items I put in here on the right side, are newer items. And I know this is an older shirt, and it's on the left side. So there's the Tommy Bahama linen shirt that I sold on Mercari. Let's throw those back in. Now, in case you're wondering where I put that custom SKU into eBay, where I could see it on the app, let me show you. I'm gonna pull up one of my listings, and it's about the 3rd box down under the pictures. You'll see the custom label or SKU. This is where you can put whatever you want. It's information that only you'll be able to see, and it will help you to remember things. So when it comes to your inventory system, make it your own. Obviously, I did a letter and then a number with mine. I've seen some people do 2 letters and a number. I've seen people just do a letter or just a number. Make it what is easy for you. You don't have to copy mine, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how to do it. How to do it in a way that makes it simple for you to remember and to be organized in. Okay, so now you've seen where I keep my inventory. You've seen the system that I use to find an item that sells and how to know which bin to pull it from. Organization is a huge key to anything you do. The more organized you are, it makes things a lot easier. So let me show you now the second part of keeping track of my inventory. I've shown you where I physically store my inventory, but let me show you now where I digitally store my inventory, my data on all the items that I have. So I'm gonna take you to my spreadsheet and show you exactly how I use my spreadsheet to stay organized with the inventory that I have logged into my system. Okay, so you can see my spreadsheet now. This is the spreadsheet that I use to keep track of not only inventory, but sales, and keep track of all this data down below that I use, from my daily sales, monthly sales, my profit and loss, platform sales, all of this. I won't go through all the tabs now, but you can kind of see how I use this spreadsheet. But let's focus on what this video is about, the inventory side of things. So this first tab is my active inventory. And as you can see up here, these are all the listings that I have actively listed that have not sold yet. So anytime that I list something online, I come into here so that I have a digital file, a digital log of all the items that I've listed. So I'll give you a quick synopsis of what this looks like. I've got the listed date. This would be the day that I actually listed the item, not the day that I purchased it. I've got a brief description of the title. I've got the bin that it's located in. So just like you saw in my garage, how I knew what bin to pull from, this is kind of a second system to tell me in case one system gets mixed up or is inaccurate, I can come back to this. So let's say that I'm in the garage and eBay is saying that this item should be in D5, and I look in D5, it's not there. And I've looked at all the items, I still can't find it. I can come to this spreadsheet and go, oh, somehow I forgot to change that in eBay. This should be C6. So this is just a second way for me to have a kind of a fail-proof way to know where that item is. Trust me, I have had a few occasions in the past. Fortunately, it hasn't happened recently where both my spreadsheet and eBay said it was in a bin, it wasn't there, and I had to go through my entire system to try and find it, and that's no fun. So having this system here helps prevent that from happening, and I'd say in the last couple of years, I don't think that's happened. So knock on wood. The second part of organizing this inventory in my spreadsheet is I put the cost, the amount that I paid for the item, and then I've also got other things to let me know, have I cross-posted this to other sites? Have I relisted this to make sure that it's staying fresh and current on eBay? Okay, so as you can see, I've got, based on this number up here, total inventory, almost 1,600 items. And this goes from my oldest inventory all the way down to items that I just listed yesterday. And so you can see with the items that I'm listing yesterday, most of them are going into H4 because that's the bin I'm working on right now. And then I have occasional items that either go in the closet here because they're bigger, or they may go into a shoe bin, which is the case with these here. Okay, so that's the first part of keeping track of inventory on my spreadsheet. Now let me show you the second tab that I use here on my spreadsheet that helps me with my inventory. And that is all the way over here at the bins tab. So if I click the bins tab, you can see here all the bins that I have in my garage, from A1 to A8, all the way over to H1 to H8. And then I've got a couple more. Shelf would just be my closet space. So I've got a bunch of stuff in my closet. And I3 is another bin that I have in this office. And next to each one of these bins, based on my spreadsheet, populates how many items are in that bin. So when I list an item, let's say these white Sierra pants, into H4, it's gonna add a unit here into H4 so that I know exactly how many units I have in each bin. Now you may be asking, why would I wanna know how many units I have in each bin? And hopefully I'm not getting too far in the weeds on this. The reason this is important is when I go to get a new bin to start filling up, I wanna get a bin that doesn't have a lot of items in it. And I could go in there and just start pulling out bins and looking, and it may take a while, or I can just quickly look at this spreadsheet, look for the bins that have the least amount of items. Say, for example, G8 would be one. And then I can quickly go in, pull G8, and then start with that one next. So that's how I use this bins tab to stay organized with my business. Now, the last thing I want to touch on with you that I think could be beneficial for you in staying organized with inventory, and trust me, the more items you get, the harder it gets to stay organized if you don't have a system, and it can get confusing. And honestly, I think this is where a lot of resellers find frustration in not having a system in place. So let me show you what I do. Let's say, for example, that I'm listing items today and I'm gonna put them in the bin G8. For the example that I listed before, it's the one that has the least amount of items. I wanna pack it up with new items. So I'm gonna go to my garage and grab G8 and I'm gonna bring it in here. The first thing that I do is two things. One, I'm gonna go to eBay. And when I get to eBay, I'm gonna come to custom label SKU right here. I'm going to say contains, and then I'm going to type in G8. And as you can see, eBay is showing that I have 9 items. So I can look at these 9 items in eBay and see I have these items, or at least I should have these items in that bin. And then on my spreadsheet, it's also saying that I have 9 items in G8. If those two match up, and then I can count the items in G8 and see that it's 9 items, I know that I'm good. But if for some reason there's any discrepancy, so let's say that I came to eBay and it said I have 9 items on eBay, but my bin shows that I should have 12. That's a 3-unit difference that I want to account for. Either my spreadsheet is off or eBay is off. And there have been times in the past, although not very many, there have been times that I've found that I didn't have some items listed on eBay. Maybe they somehow got deleted by mistake and I was able to relist those. Obviously, we don't want an item sitting in the garage that is not listed and can't be sold. It's just taking up space and it's not making money. So that's how I use this spreadsheet. So hopefully that gives you a few ideas of how to stay organized with your inventory so that you can at least minimize the possible frustration of keeping track of several items. I will throw in here really briefly, if you are looking for a spreadsheet and this spreadsheet that you saw interests you, I just showed you a couple of the tabs keeping track of the inventory, but there's so much more that this can do that has really helped resellers stay organized with their business, not just with inventory, but also to know their numbers, to see their trends, their sales trends, to measure what parts of their business are doing well as what parts of their business need a little extra attention. If this spreadsheet interested you at all, you can look below in the description of this video and I'll go ahead and tag a link so it takes you right to the spreadsheet. You can see it for yourself. I've also got another video in my channel that does a quick 7 to 8 minute tutorial similar to what I did here, but will show you more in depth all the different tabs of this spreadsheet. So if you're interested, click the link below and check it out, and you can find it there. As with every video, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to tune in and watch and connect. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to hit me up in the comments below. And as always, thanks again. This is Jason. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you later. Bye.